Good morning. Been having a bunch of technical issues today, but wanted to knock this one out and then actually do one to excuse me. Actually do one tonight as well. Um, so communities today. But before I get into that, I've been like these videos are like the daily routine is kind of intended to boost morale or keep you on track and just keep a practice that keeps going. And I've also noticed that sometimes it just becomes I just becomes hyper self-aware as well. It's like, oh, but I didn't think enough, or I didn't really prepare enough, or oh, the practice is not really resulting in anything. And I think I've mentioned this before as well. So just mentioning that today's another one of those days, and there's other things to do, other things to catch up on, but it's important that we just continue this because it's a commitment. So, with regards to community, which is something that I felt more closely with over this weekend with family, and it's like over 10 years, it's interesting to see how everyone's kind of evolved or changed, and fundamentally, they're the same people. You're fully related to them in the way that you are, and um, there's something different about them. It's like that. One of my sisters is a mother now, and another's fully, she loves being in the outdoors. Like I never used to think of her as an outdoors person before. My parents are, are moving around the world, being independent, teaching, um, and then even the other sides of the families and laws and stuff, and just people growing in different ways, and um, they don't necessarily share the same things that you used to share, and I changed a lot as well in the meantime. And it's like, well, what does it mean to be part of community? So it's just some reflections, some musings, really. um I'm not sure how this all translates yet to like a business or like the way things work. I was hoping to explore that more, but I think that just needs to be discovered over time. And I've been part of really strong communities before, like in school, uh, and sometimes I also excluded myself. Like not exclude, but there were things I did or practices that I had or thoughts and ideas that stood out from the community. And I've always wondered, like, how far am I trying to stand out that then I start breaking away from the identity, and I don't really quite fit back in those communities. Um, and I'm coming to appreciate that a lot of communities almost drive towards some kind of ideal, right? They never really achieve that ideal. Everyone has like a different perspective, a different, people come and go even, and that's fine. That's to be expected and allowed. Um, but they're all working, whether we declare it or not. It's more powerful when declared, but they're kind of working towards an ideal that they never truly are. Um, and there's always egos and power dynamics and experiences that come into play in between. And sometimes some drive communities forward, some drive them back. Sometimes they disband, sometimes they get bigger. And I kind of want to say it's just energy that brings it that brings it together and drives it, um, uh, more than any academic musings that I might have about it. But it does, I still did consider, well, why some are loose and some are long lasting and other are singular and they drive momentum. And I just come across the same things of like proximity, time spent together, topics and concerns that everybody shares, identities and practices that form. And in many ways, actually, like external forces build a community or put a community together, which is interesting because we're always living in contrast to another, light and dark, right? I think that's all I really have to share. I think I should speak to some, community builders and see what their experience has been like. And because like in the crypto space, there's a bunch of communities, and some are very singular, right? Dog Army and Bitcoin for like a meme coin, right? And others that are more complex and more involved with things like MakerDAO. Like that's a community of people that are trying to create a stable coin and have done so quite successfully on Ethereum. And the makings and the unravelings and the success of them, and at what point were they VC investable versus not, right? Those questions come to mind. I'm sure we'll revisit this topic again in the future. Thanks for listening today.